Thank you for staying with us. Come the 25th of this month, Nigerians will head to the polls to elect a president of their choice, as well as National Assembly members who will constitute the 10th National Assembly. The 10th National Assembly see an influx of new faces due to the high turnover of lawmakers, many of whom lost their party's ticket at the primaries. One of those from Lagos not returning to the Green Chamber is a lawmaker representing Ifako Ijaiye Federal Constituency, is Honorable Owolabi Adisa James. Now, the race for who succeeds him is now a heated battle as the contestants are putting their arsenals together to ensure they emerge victorious. One of those seeking that position is Lawal Rilwon Ayola, candidate of the People's Redemption Party. He joins us now in the studio to talk about his plans for the people of Ifako Ijaiye Federal Constituency if he emerges winner of the vote. Good morning. Thank you for joining us in TVC Breakfast.
Good morning. Thanks.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Same here, bro.
Great.
Now, talk to us about Ifako Ijaiye. What you see is the dire need of the people that you want to address if elected.
Well, thank you very much for that question, and thank you for having me this morning. Well, basically, there are many. I will start from the fact that Ifako Ijaiye is the fourth largest local government in Lagos State, which is the fourth largest economy in Africa. Unfortunately, since the local government was created in 1996, it's still a semi-urban local government. And moving around the world, you cannot really compare that local government to any local government in a league. You know, that is one of the reasons I'm coming in and stepping in, trying to step in to play my part in fast-tracking development in Ifako Ijaiye local government. Basically, when we're talking of the characteristics of an urban, semi-urban local government or community, I think you two, you have the knowledge of what it takes. And living in one of the best countries in terms of quality and education in the world, I think I have a lot to bring to my community to get it up to speed. One, in the area of education, in the area of sustainable empowerment, the right of women and widows, and as well as people with special needs. Also, in the area of education. Yes, I went to a public primary school. I was the beneficiary of one of the best secondary schools in Lagos State Model College, Mayor. And if you compare now to the level of quality of education we had then, well, I think you are comparing day and night. You'll be talking of day and night. And one of my policy agenda is to assist and support my community in bringing it back to speed, at least where it was, if not better than that. And also in the area of health sector, we've come up with the fact that, yes, we have some structures. But these are glorified hospitals, the doctors, even the equipment cannot be compared, are not really available, to be candid. Even you can talk of Aso Rock not having this, not to talk of local government, which is a semi-urban local government. In addition to that, we were talking of social welfare, because I've lived several years in a socialist country where they've got fantastic social welfare. And we're trying to think global and act local in terms of providing social welfare for our people based on priorities. In addition to that, our Bible says, my people perish because they lack knowledge. And Nigeria is in this situation because we lack the knowledge, basically. That is one of the things I'm bringing to bear, to ensure that the youth of Ifako Ijaiye are given the necessary exposure. You know, we take them for international exposure around the Scandinavian countries, you know, word by word. We're bringing them back to enable them to expand their minds so that they could question people and say, oh, this is, if any politician comes around and tell them this, they will tell, no, this is how it's supposed to be. Also, we realize in the area of empowerment of the artisans, because that's community, that constituency is made up of a lot of artisans. And if we look at it, in the next, I'll put it, 10 to 15 years, most of the artisans working there will be obsolete. The skills will be obsolete. The equipment they are using is already obsolete. I'm working in that direction too. We're making pledges in that direction to ensure that we give them the international exposure needed. We train the trainers and connect them with the necessary profession that is needed to enhance and bring them up to speed in international community.
All right.
Moving further, harnessing the power, we have what we call harnessing the power of the youth. That's in closing sport, creative and talent exploitation, as well as international, how will I put it? I would rather put it in the way where I want to ensure that all the creative hearts in Ifako Ijaiye are harmonized in a form that we'll be able to sell them to the world to bring foreign direct investment. Lastly, in the area of farming. Yes, this year I brought, last year I brought, not this year, early this year, I brought some investors in the area of farming to Nigeria. We came to Lagos State, but it was not quite impressive the way we were received. And they've decided to still go on with the project. We want to ensure that we work with them and all this, to ensure that we have Ifako Ijaiye farm, in which each ward in Ifako Ijaiye will be planting different crops. And we will be selling these crops to the Ifako Ijaiye residents in a subsidized rate, and the rest will be exported to earn foreign currency to further invest in our community. Those are part of what my policy pledges for Ifako Ijaiye.
All right. Now, the ideas you have enumerated in education, empowerment, health, agriculture, and SMEs or artisans and all of that, one would say, of course, you are vying for the position of the representative, which is under the legislature. And the business of legislature constitutionally is to make laws. Now, if the Constitution empowers the executive to be the implementer or to be the executioner of all of this directly, monies are made available for all of that, how are you going to, as a legislature, because you are just to represent the people and be their mouthpiece and speak for them as they speak for you, and all of that, how do you balance that? Because it seems the legislatures are just meant to make laws.
Well, thank you very much. I would rather put it across to you. That is the misconception we've been having about this.
Thank you.
I think we've been working on paper. That is why several times I've said on the air that people are just working on paper. They're just using the paper analysis to work and embezzle things. Now, why should we limit what you can get from your legislature to just oath to of lawmaking and oversight? But now, when the issue we're having in the country presently, talking of fuel scarcity and scarcity and redesign of Naira, the House of Representatives are coming in, we are going to do this, we are going to do that, we are going to arrest this and that. They are talking when they needed to facilitate development in their local government. They are talking of rural, unable to get all these rural people, unable to deposit their money, have access to money. That is part of their responsibilities. You need to, not just about the lawmaking and law oversight, you need to ensure that whatever will make the life of your community constituency great and better, you need to complement it. You need to complement it. You need to ensure that you complement the presidency, you complement your governors. Basically, that is what I've been saying. There cannot be development, real development, sustainable development in this country when you don't really have people that are well exposed, that really understand what democracy is all about. Even in a full democracy country in the world, you will realize that, I know you too, you're quite exposed, you might be going as a tourist, but living fully in that system, you realize that the development of any country has to do with the politicians and does not only rest on the neck of the presidents, of the executives. I will tell you this. We got $1.5 million, which is 1.3 billion naira for Chibok girls. Was I a legislator? No. This is why we've been able to brought 2 containers of working aids to local government, to Lagos State during the period of Fashola, which was distributed at the LTV. We got this using the NGOs, our NGOs over there in Sweden. We got it to the country. Was I a legislator? We've been able, I've worked with several ambassadors, in which one reference is even the ambassador, when you check the Twitter of the former ambassador of Sweden to Nigeria and ECOWAS country, putting it on the Twitter when we've been working to bring investors into the country. Was I a legislator? All these, I've taken ministers to advanced country to canvass for investors to come into this country. And waste to energy, I've brought countries and investors to Nigeria to to work with the state government in converting our waste to energy. Was I a legislator? These are part of work the legislators are supposed to be doing. They're not just, they need to go beyond just sitting and making laws. Yeah, they're talking of constituency allowances, because of constituency project. We could even rationalize this under constituency projects, you know. And you don't really need to use the money of your country. There are a lot of things you could do. That's why when you check my manifesto, we have what we want to do, and also the approaches. And out of these 7 approaches, only just one has to do with the influence at the state, the local, state, and federal level. All this, we are talking of the working on the power of the Nigerian in the diaspora. That is the soft power of the Nigerian diaspora. That is talking of enhancing foreign direct investment. That is talking of, that's the FDI. They're talking of the DDI, diaspora direct investment. Talking of facilitating public-to-public partnership, in which I've done for some local governments, some staffs, in which you use your office or your network to connect them with opportunities in terms of connecting local government to local government in terms of change of ideas, both soft and hard knowledge and resources. These are all, you know, I'm trying to do, and I've done them before. Also, in the area of engaging the NGOs, through which we got the working aids. You know, you engage the NGOs to get all these things done. Even personally, because a lot of people think about the secondary school a lot. I went to my primary school and I engaged an international NGO, which I'm devised, to come in, you know, to take a house, you know, this inter-export house, to take which is greenhouse, in order for them to bring development into that local government. They will do it as an international project. You know, they will get the money from the EU, they will write for it. They will write it for wherever they can get there are a lot of money out there in which you can engage. These are what I'm bringing about. You just don't need to go to Abuja, sit until we start having crisis, you'll be calling another. It's far beyond that. That is why we Nigerians must think, you know, and get people that are well exposed, you know, to run this, to represent them. Because at this stage, Nigerian is indebted to 77 trillion.
Right.
Now, how do we move forward? Definitely, whoever is taking over now, there's going to be an issue of finance.
Interesting.
How do you move forward?
As laudable as your ideas are for the people of Ifako Ijaiye, there are those who have, you know, made promises as beautiful as this, but when they get there, it seems they forget the people and the promises they made, and so the people do not have access to them anymore. So what are you going to do differently such that these people, you are readily available to your people and they can hold you to account? You made these promises, you're not delivering. Are you going to be available to these people? What are you intending to do differently?
Thank you very much. I was waiting for that question. You see, what I'm going to do differently are not new in the developed world, but it's new to many Nigerians here. It's going to be new to many Nigerians. There are a lot of ways you can make people accountable. Right? The citizen can make us, their representative, accountable. And there are basic things they must put in place to know that this man is really, or this woman is really serious. One, you said a lot of people have made promises. Yoruba man sọ pé ẹni tó fẹ́ dash off fún ni tẹ́wọ̀n láwò.
Interpret, please.
That whoever wants to give you clothes or want to sew clothes for you, will look at the one he or she is wearing. Check my profile. Google Ayola Lawal. I will give you the keywords. Ayola Lawal, APC Scandinavia chairman, and Google will give you another than 10 pages about me. 10 pages, what I've done, you know. But not going there, I will tell you, let me come back to the main question. You see, being accessible to people is as easy as ABC. Once we get there, we are ensuring that each of the ward has its own constituency. It does not have to be a big building. It could just be a functional office. That is one, which costs nothing. Two, that is the money they even give to some of their followers if they want to maybe, for one car, you get an office. And you keep it with basic things that even NGOs are ready to equip them with schools for me. That is one. Two, we have a website in which all what is happening in Ifako Ijaiye will be published consistently and also with HAP. Then if you go to the constituency office, the constituency office is where you're supposed to get me. It's not my house.
Okay.
Because I'm your employer. It's like, yeah, after getting you as a TVC staff, and you see your MD coming to your house, it's gonna, what are you coming to do? You know, I've delivered what I'm supposed to do. And if I'm not coming, they can easily go online. They can easily go to the website and put it across. We are waiting for you. We have not seen you. Nobody wants a bad image, especially politicians.
Some persons don't care.
Basically, when you know the rules, you engage the NGOs. There's no way. Now, Honorable Jabiamela, the speaker, is calling, threatening the CBN governor now. The same way you can. And if I refuse, you have your PVC to recall me.
We know how the process is. It's quite a challenging
The process of recalling
it's a long and challenging
Nigeria
one. We have tried it once. It didn't work.
Seems to be a very Herculean task.
It didn't work.
Based on the constitutional provisions as to recalling a legislature in Nigeria. It has been tried so many times.
It didn't work.
Never really works.
But I will tell you this. We Nigerians, we want things so easy. And our life is difficult all around, back to back. If you do easy things, things will be difficult. If you do hard things, things that are difficult, things will be easy. But we always want it easy, as is presently happening now. We're complaining, but it's for the betterment of our nation. When the people refused to go out, you're saying it didn't work. How many people were out that voted? Because if you never voted, you can't join in recalling. In Lagos State now, last election, how many people refused to go out? Out of 6.5 million plus. 6 million sat at home. Now they're complaining. It's garbage in, garbage out. Nothing is quite easy if you really want development. You think taking Ayola Lawal sitting there is easy for me?
Yeah, but the point there is, let me, because you talked about the issue of people going out to vote. If people decide not to go out to vote for whatever reason that they have, you know, and the person who has said, vote for me, I will do this, I will do that, has emerged. Should it matter, really, if people didn't vote for you enough, or those who were supposed to vote for you didn't vote for you, if you have become the person that you wanted to become based on the winning your victory, should it matter? Should it not just go ahead and implement whatever you have promised?
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. You have to go out and implement what you want to implement, irrespective of people that voted. But on this angle, we're talking about if.
Being held accountable.
Yes.
And being accessible.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about now. You know what I'm saying? You can access me through the website. There's a lot of ways you can, it's not physical. That is in an old way. Many people are accessing this channel now across the globe through what? Through the media, through the internet. You know what I'm saying? And getting the feedback is another thing. You know, no politician, we say politicians don't care. Maybe you have not really sat with them enough. I've been at the apex of political parties, both local and international. It's just the way it is. It's perspective. Some don't even have the strategy to manage it, to get consultants to help them in managing this. People even think a family, like I will give you an example, he's not a politician. Emefiele doesn't care. No. All this thing that is happening, the strategy going around to manage this. People will say Mr. President doesn't care. He does. But handling negative image is another thing. You know, you need to sit with these people to really understand they're human being like you. But sometimes they tend to put it, they have a way of dodging it out that, oh, they've collected their own share before we came in. Now they're shouting. Before they voted for me, they collected money from me. Where do you think I got the money from?
All right. What factors do you think will influence the pattern of voting in this election, in the coming election?
Come again?
What factors do you think will influence the way people vote in this coming election?
Well, a lot of factors, and the obvious one, we've seen it. Suffering and poverty is going to influence the way people are going to vote. And it has to also do with demographic. Because when we're talking of, I have to go to the basic of demographic. The old people, they still don't care. I can say that boldly. Some might say, oh, they are still following parties that are just take your rice and beans and that. No matter what you're saying, they still say, oh, this is the party I'm following. They are still saying, I'm going to vote from top to bottom for this party, irrespective of the fact they don't even know the candidate, except the presidential candidate. But one thing is true, the generation of the 35 above, according to INEC, are the generations that are eager to be part. The people that organize the answers, they are ready to be part of the destiny. They just don't want to leave it to any hands to manage it anymore, because even their hope, they are not seeing their hope, their dreams, coming to pass if they don't take action now. And they are saying that, one of the factors is poverty. Another factor is that people, their hope, they are not seeing themselves achieving their dreams in their own lifetime. And also some parents, the young parents, that they're looking at how things have been happening now. And they have already transferred their dreams to their children, but they are not even seeing that dream coming to reality in their own lifetime. Those are the key factors that
But antecedents have shown in this country that as eager as the youth may seem, like 35 to whatever age you have mentioned earlier, oftentimes during the election day, they do not show up. They don't come out. Do you think that would change this time around?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. You see, it is easier for us to say antecedent. And I do normally ask people, what antecedent? You need to walk in their shoes, get down to the trenches and talk to them. The youth have never been actively participated in Nigerian politics. The youth have not, I would put it, they have not. They have been passive. Even after the answers, there were by-elections. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They still didn't come out. But go out, talk to people. I'm contesting election. You need to be out there, talk to people.
What are they saying?
They're saying now that they vote after count. They vote after count. Whether they want to make a statement with their votes now. Some. Most of the people, they will tell you, are not going to vote a certain age bracket, in which, when we even pay for the research, to do the research to know the mind of people, I think you need to do that now. You need to leave the comfort of your homes and go to the street, enter Keke Marwa. You know what I'm saying? I'm even talking of the youth, the educated ones.
So you're saying that this will change this time around, that because they are feeling the matter of their vote counting is the major challenge, and perhaps that would influence their coming out to vote this time?
Yes, one. There's a saying, there's a general saying, believing that their vote will not count. But now they're just believing that some of them we've spoken with, and the feedback we got from our researchers, some of them believe now that even if it doesn't count, we want to go out and vote this time around.
So there are more cautious people now.
Yes, I can put it that way.
Right. So the aspect of you coming out, that the other thing I want to ask is, so what do you think separates you from every other contestant? And what kind of buying are you getting from the people? Because I'm sure you have gone to the grassroots, like you have mentioned.
I've always been a grassroots person, though.
Right. What buying, what kind of support are you getting from these people? What are they saying? And then how does that separate you from every other contestant?
Well, it's as clear as day and night. The international networks, global networks that I've got 1.3 billion naira for Chibok. Tell me any politician you know, before being elected or after being elected, have brought such amount of money
to the people.
To the people. Tell me one. If you know one. Tell me any politician that you know. Since I was a kid, there's only been an issue of up-nipper. Tell me anyone before they got to their position that have brought, even as they were, because some of them have served before, they brought companies to come and work on this issue. I will tell you. Also, show me one that has gone to work with international NGOs and brought them into the country to impact, to contribute to the development of their community. And not just the community, the country. Show me one that ambassador of the best quality country in the world on his Twitter, putting it, this is Hayola Lawal and APC's Kindernever chairman walking the roadshow to bring investors into this country. Show me one that they have taken ambassadors, to go and canvass for investors. Show me one that you have ever seen with the world leaders. You know what I'm saying? That they got the network, I put it that way, the exposure to, the will, the political will. You know what I'm saying? Thirdly,
we have to leave things here now because of time. I must thank you, Lawal Rilwon Ayola, candidate of the People's Redemption Party, for your
before
time.
You close that, just last one, before you close.
No, we don't have time. We have to go now. I just want to tell you this. Like now, we have to leave now.
We have to leave now.
Yes.
We'll
but we must thank you. Yes, so you have this conversation.
You promise that?
No, of course.
Right.